the end, I was like, am I gonna cry? That was really good. I cannot front or deny.
What can I say? A genius.
Do you think I can do it? I don't know. Hello everybody. I look whack, so disregard the appearance. Hello and welcome back to my messy bookshelves in my messy room. And I kind of fell off the face of the planet. But that's okay, because I think I'm really achieving my goal of not reading too much, because it's the 24th of January and I've only read 5 books. I say only, but that's not that bad. But for me, it's like, it feels weird. I don't know. I feel like I need to be like picking up the pace. And basically, I've been feeling a lot of like, I'm not in a slump per se, but I do have a lot of reader's indecision, and I'm in the mode of freeze when it's like, I don't know what to read. Because, you know, a little backstory, I've been doing some like choreographing for a show that's coming up. And when I put my mind in a creative place, I feel like I don't have any room to read and be creative and like imagine a world. But I basically finished that piece, like mostly all the choreography. So I feel like I have room to expand my brain. And also my screen time is such that I can't even show you what it is. So that's the goal of this video. I'm attempting a 24-hour readathon. We'll see how it goes. I actually have also posted a community post asking you guys which book I should prioritize, because the main point of this video is for me to just read one book. Just read one. That's all I want. I don't care about reading 5. No, I just want to read one. And if that happens, great. This readathon will entail me trying to stay up and read. I'm basically going to start this, I think, we'll see. I'll start this either at when I get home from rehearsal at like 3-ish, or I'll start it at 8. There's a big difference between those 2 numbers, I know. Yeah, so last time I did this, I just like stopped the clock whenever I read, or sorry, I stopped the clock whenever I did anything like sleeping, showering, eating. But not this time, honey. We're just gonna let the clock run. And if I don't read, I don't read. And that's just like party foul on myself. Here are all the books I'm currently reading. 4 books? I'm currently reading 4 books. Here's what they are. I'm currently reading Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. And I don't want to anymore. It's terrible. But I read the first book and I was like, maybe I should do a readathon of this book series. And then I'm just like, it's very YA in a bad way. Like there's YA books that are in a good way, and then there's the other way. You know what that is. You know what it is. Other book I'm currently reading, where did she go? Where'd she come from? Where'd she go? Oh my gosh. I've been rereading the Clockwork series, The Infernal Devices. Tell me this book series does not slap. I'm waiting. It slaps so hard. So this was actually one of the books I've read this year. So I reread this one, Clockwork Angel. It's magnifique by Cassandra Clare. Apparently, I'm just in a Victorian mood. I just want to be a little Victorian child and sit and read about petticoats and carriage rides and try not to think about the lack of indoor plumbing. So I read that one, and now I'm actually further along than this bookmark indicates, but I'm currently reading Clockwork Prince, and I also have the audio from the library, so this is just a nice reread. I don't know if I'm going to continue this one in this video, but if I do continue it in this video, it would be really easy, honestly. And so if I do continue it, then I will go on immediately to Clockwork Princess, because I kind of feel like crying too. It's like getting to that time of the month where like, I could use a good cry. And then another book I'm reading is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. Because like I said before, I'm in a Victorian mood. Yeah. I don't know what this book is about. Like, I know what it's about. It's about a girl named Lucy Snow who, as of so far, is a very unlikable narrator, but in a relatable way. She just seems like, I don't know. So she lives in this town, she lives with her godmother, and then she leaves her godmother to be like a governess, but then it's a big thing. It's a whole thing. And it basically just seems like she's just going where the wind takes her, and she hates everybody. So that's that book. And then the other book I'm reading currently that I am 500 pages into is Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. This was one of the books I put in the poll. If you have me read this book, if y'all choose Wind and Truth, you hate me. Because this book, part of the reason why I haven't, I started reading Wind and Truth fully in December. Actually, I started prologue in December. It is almost the end of January, and I have not finished this book because it's so freaking heavy. It makes my wrists hurt. I don't enjoy the process of reading it because of the heaviness. And also, there's so many freaking perspectives. And I only like 2 of them. I fully only like 2 of them. And one of the characters that has been with us since book 1 has annoyed me since book 1. Actually, 2 of them have annoyed me since book 1. I read this book for one character in particular, and he might pull me through to the end of the series. But this is the halfway point in the Stormlight Archive, the first arc, and I'm on, if you want context for what this is about, I can't really tell you. It's about a world in which there are people and Parshendi, these marbled looking creatures, and in the first book, they're waging war on them, fighting for gem hearts, and oh my gosh, look at me actually summarizing this. And it's full of, I have a good way of summing it up. It's a world in which you have Parshendi, and you have men who are illiterate and women who can't show their hands. There you go. That's this book series. And for more context on how far I am into this book, I'm on day 4 currently out of this 10-day kerfluffle. So if you're mean, you'll have me read this. And that'll just, if you pick that, that's the only book we're reading in this day. I hope you know. And then getting on to books that I kind of want to read more, is, which is another thing. I did a book haul, didn't mean to, but it was snowing and I had cabin fever. And then when I was finally able to get outside my house, I just wanted to go to the bookstore. And then I found books and I was like, I think I have to buy them, right? Right? So if you want a book haul at the end of this month, give this video a like. I'm just gonna start saying things give this video a like if. Give this video a like if you have a mole. Give this video a like if you have curly hair. Give this video a like but yeah, this is a book that I bought. Long story short. Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wang. I read, what's that book called? Sword of Kaigen. I read The Sword of Kaigen. Y'all, I'm losing my mind. I have to make a digression. I'm losing my mind and I'm not okay with it. I was talking to my sister the other day and I was talking about how all these famous people look like each other. And I was saying that Sandra Bullock and Anne Hathaway kind of look the same, you know? And another one for me is that Tom Hanks and Bill Murray and Billy Crystal all look the same to me. But when I was telling her this, because she fully believes this too. She's like, I've had that thought for years. But when I was saying, I was trying to say Bill Murray, and I said Billy Murphy, and she's like, you mean Bill Murray? And I was like, yeah, him. Billy Murphy. Back to what I was saying. I want to read this. I don't know what it's about. I know it's Dark Academia, and I saw that it was Dark Academia plus Full Metal Alchemist. And while I'm not the biggest fan of that show, I have watched it and I do enjoy it. So this says in the back, Siona stepped into the circle toward her destiny, or toward the end of everything. And honestly, I don't know that I didn't also buy this book because it's just pretty, because it is. And I'm not usually the type that'll do that. But in this case, I did. Look at this. So yeah, I kind of want to read it a lot. So there's a book we could read. And the last book that I gave as an option for the poll was The Family Experiment by John Mars, because I saw that they finally put it on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm gonna snap that puppy up and see if I can read it. And honestly, if you choose either Blood Over Bright Haven or The Family Experiment, then I can read more than one book. If you choose When in Truth, I can only read one. That book is 1,300 pages and I'm 500 pages in. So that is the gist. We'll see what happens, because like I said, I'm not starting this video really until that poll has a couple more hours to go, and until I'm done with like rehearsal and class, because then I'll have I have a full day tomorrow to do nothing. So that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, we might go get some food. We might get some coffee. No, we might get some food. We will not get some coffee. We're gonna make coffee here at our own house. So that is the plan, Stan. So apparently I only had class, no rehearsal today. So I've been left with a nice amount of free time. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, what do I guess I could read. I don't know. So I haven't started the readathon yet because I have my poll running right now. Right. I also put it on Instagram because I'm like, if nobody votes, I don't know what I'm going to read. And then I'm just going to be like frozen still. So right now, the poll on Instagram, I think When in Truth is winning with like 2 votes, mind you. And then the one on YouTube, I think The Family Experiment is winning. So regardless, I'm going to read what the people would like me to read. And in the meantime, until we start the readathon, I'm probably going to read a little bit more of When in Truth just to get a little bit ahead. And then I'll probably get some lunch. I really want to go to this taco place because I really want some tacos. But it's Friday, which means I'm supposed to technically only eat fish on Fridays. But we might need to make an exception. I'm sorry. I need some meat. I want steak. Ooh, that's what I'm craving. Steak.
Good, how are you?
Can I get a burrito?
Can I get steak?
Okay, it's like, that was unexpected. It's like 2:32-ish and just not eating, which is probably some kind of a no-no, but whatever. I'm gonna eat my burrito and then, fuel up for the readathon. If you wanted to know my order, it was steak, rice, black beans, lettuce, cheese, jalapenos, and hot sauce, which the hot sauce isn't even that hot. I don't know what they're doing, but the hot sauce is just sauce. I'm a Southerner and I like my stuff spicy, and no one does it spicy enough for me, but we'll see. Spice level, 2 out of 10. But the steak is good. Okay, I'm looking a little disheveled, but it's been a few hours. I worked up a sweat doing this silly little trend called The Vibes I Bring to the Function. And it was actually pretty fun. I'll put the picture right here. And yeah, I think we're going to start this at about 10 o'clock. So in 3 minutes, we will start our first read. And at this point, I'm sleepy. I drank some coffee earlier, and I think it did the opposite of what I wanted. I actually got sleepier. Granted, I did drink the coffee I drank it at 5 o'clock, so I should be fine, like 5 p.m. So it should have worked, but it didn't. And also at this point, the poll is telling me absolutely nothing. So I'm just going to pick what I want to pick, because I'm at a tie for The Family Experiment and Blood Over Bright Haven. So we're going to pick what we want so we remain happy, so our souls can be free. And yeah, so I'm going to start The Family Experiment in about 2 minutes. I'm going to start a little countdown, because that'll be fun, right? And hopefully this will go off when the time is right. Please do not mind the fingerprints. Thank you. Okay, we are 2 minutes in. So let us start The Family Experiment, Why Don't We, by John Mars. What is this book about? Wouldn't I like to know? I'll just read you the first page. This says, why leave it to chance or genetics when you can have the perfect baby you've always dreamed of? Here at Reborn, we are now taking pre-launch orders for meta babies. Children, why did that sound so funny when I said it? Children that exist entirely in the metaverse. Okay, I'm really scared of the metaverse. This is gonna be scary, just like The One and Passengers. He writes really scary books. Here you can pick and choose the age and sex of your child and design their appearance from eye and hair color to skin tone and body shape, their accent, interests, and the speed of their growth. Trust our designers to create a perfect blend of the two of you, just like Mother Nature intended. Our children have a digital memory, photorealistic faces, and bodies which can respond to you using facial tracking and voice analysis. But Reborn isn't only for new parents. If you're not ready for your real-world child to grow up, we can build an exact replica of them so they can live forever in the metaverse at an age of your choice. Or if you have suffered a loss, allow us to reanimate the one you loved with a near exact replica. Wherever you are in life, we can tailor a package that suits you. Okay. Ooh. This is like Tamagotchis on steroids. Remember Tamagotchis? Okay, let's read. Okay, so I got to 14 pages in. It was basically like the preamble before today, month 1, newborn. And I don't know what's happening. All I know is there's a game show and 11 couples. So, no, 10, no, that's not the right math. 5 couples, there we go. 5 times 2 is 10. Yep. 5 couples, it's late, y'all. It's 10. That's late for me. 5 couples and 1 singleton are competing to raise a meta baby that will never not be funny. And people are going to vote, I think. And whoever wins gets some money to keep their meta baby, or they can give their meta baby up and get more money to make a new baby. I don't know why. And then there was like this ominous kind of a thing with a kid in a dinghy. So let's keep going. Ooh, the contestants. Okay. See you in a second. I'm just 5% into this book and already it's really intriguing. There's topics of conversation like when you're watched. I'm sorry, my words. Like, there's topic of conversation like how if you're a parent, you're always going to do something wrong from somebody else's viewpoint, and you should just keep your parenting out of anybody else's mind or mouth. Like, you should just keep what you're doing to yourself as long as you're not hurting the kid. So there's like, that's the whole part of this game. And so it's like everyone's going to be judging everybody for their parenting techniques. And also the whole conversation of people just take parenting for granted when you're like, you're raising a kid that's going to be an adult, a human. Now, in this metaverse, it doesn't really make sense. Those the two things don't really, there's not an exact correlation to those two things, but the premise remains the same. I'm wondering how deep and astute and philosophical I'm going to be by the end of this. Probably not. I'm probably going to be a pile of, see, I've already lost words, a pile of incoherence. There you go. This book is the best. We have an influencer and his personal assistant as a couple. They're using this whole thing to like get sponsorships, and they're even letting the fans vote on what they'll name the baby. This is so funny. Oh my gosh. And it's so tragic because it's actually what's happening. I mean, not saying that people are letting their kids be named from the viewers, but I don't want to be messy. We are like 30% in, and it's 11:39. I'm waning. But I do have to say, John Mars knows how to write a frickin' cliffhanger at the end of a chapter. Snap, snap, snaps for him. Yeah, I had a little like, what? I was brushing my teeth and listening to the audio, because I found it, so that was cool. But I was brushing my teeth and going, what? And we had a Tamagotchi reference, so that was also fun. I called the Tamagotchi.
what can I say? I'm a genius.
Oh, I will also say that it really is, it would behoove you to read the one, then then Passengers, then The Family Experiment, because there are lots of Easter eggs and characters from each book in this book, and I've read both of those books and I can't remember most of these people, but it doesn't hinder my enjoyment that much. Also, my eyes are getting like heavier and heavier, but I have like 4 more hours in this. I feel like I should just soldier through, right? Because it's really interesting. So it is now 7:04 and we're like 9 hours into the challenge. Of course, I started sleeping at 1 o'clock and then I woke up at 6:30 and yeah, we're continuing reading. I really like it and I am 61% in, so hopefully I'll finish it within the next 2-ish hours and then we can move on to the next book. But in the meantime, I'm going to update my temperature blanket that I've been crocheting. I think today's color is a green. Question of the video, if you've made it this far. How do you take your coffee? Cream, sugar, black? Let me know. All right, so I have about an hour left of the audiobook, so I'm going to walk on my walking pad, and it's 8:09, so we're like 10 hours into, no, that's not right. We're almost 10 hours into the challenge, and I've almost finished my first book, so I'm just gonna get a little walk in, get some steps, and then after that it'll be reading with just my eyes for any other books that we read today. So yeah, this book, like, I'm pretty sure I know what's gonna happen with one of the characters in the competition, and it's just crazy. I'm like, every single chapter I'm like, how dare they? It's crazy. And the moral ethicality of it all. This is why I'm scared of the metaverse. Okay, let's get started. Ooh, okay, I actually worked up a little bit of a sweat because I was wearing this stupid big sweatshirt thing, but got some steps and finished The Family Experiment. Sorry. Also, lighting, I know. That was really good. I'm not gonna lie. I cannot front or deny that I was thoroughly entertained the entire time. There were plot twists that I thought were going to happen and then didn't, so I was tricked, and yeah, I think it was really, really fun in a scary way. And oh, it's made me more afraid of AI. Tell me, is anybody else just terrified of it? Because I am. I'm afraid of AI and like seeing my likeness somewhere and knowing that I wasn't there. It scares me to no end. But it looks like we have about 12 hours and 46 minutes and 23, 22, 21, 20 seconds. There we go. Yeah. So a little, basically just halfway in. Oh yeah, I gave The Family Experiment like let's say 4.5, but like I'll round it up to 5 on Goodreads. You know, I'll give that to it. Also, there was like a happy ending. It was great. And so that means I have read how many pages? Well, let's update Goodreads, why don't we? Lovely. I've read 384 pages. Let's keep going. Now, I think it is time to, well, I should take a shower since I sweat a little bit. But I'm going to start on my next book, which is going to be, please hold, Wind and Truth, because while this one did not win in the YouTube community poll, it did win on my Bookstagram. And you guys, the people on my Bookstagram, y'all hate me. So yesterday when I was preparing for this challenge, I got to page 601. So I have about, I think I'm at like 47% or 45% of the way in. So I don't actually know if I can finish this book. I don't know. This lighting is really getting me. There we go. Yeah, so I have a little over halfway to finish this book, and I have 12 hours to do it in. Do you think I can do it? I don't know. 'Cause I don't have an audiobook to help me stay engaged. So it'll just be me and my eyes. But yeah, I also feel like I'm wasting time right now talking to you, but I also feel like if I hadn't slept and then lost 5.5 hours, that maybe I could do it, but we'll see. Only you will know when you scroll to the end of this video. Okay, next book, let's do it. Probably the best part of this book in particular are all of the Easter eggs from different Brando Sando books. Like it's the one, let's see, interlude, I think 9 maybe, a good one. I'm not gonna spoil the book that it's from, but like, I do love seeing the books that I've loved like sprinkled in. The other thing I'll say about this book is that everybody has daddy issues. What's up with that? And I'm getting a little tired of but you know, the strength was in his heart because, you know, all you need is love. Like, that's cute, and it was cute for the first couple books, but we're in book 5, and we're still talking about this, so it's like, and I'm just curious about one character in particular, and if they are or are not going to like have something like happen to them. I really want that thing to happen, but I don't know if it's going to, because they're my favorite character. And there's mainly one character right now who is still annoying the crap out of me. I won't say boy or girl, but I will say that they have been annoying since the start of book 1. Yeah, so it's looking like I'm not going to be able to finish this today, but I'm going to keep going, because I feel like I'll get pretty close by the end of the timer, but I don't think I'll finish it, so we'll just see how many pages I read, right? Okay, we have not updated in a little bit, but I have only like 4 hours and 45 minutes basically until the end of this challenge. So, you know, the less time speaking, the more time reading, you know, less chatty Cathy. And I am on chapter 102. I'm looking this up on my phone because I found my dad on his Kindle app, or on his Kindle account, he has the book, so I'm just borrowing it, thanks Daddy, and reading that because, it's just, that book is so heavy. I don't know why I bought the physical copy, but I'm on chapter 102, and that looks to be on page 989, so I've almost read 400 pages so far. Like I said, I have a little over 4.5 hours, so I'll probably get to maybe 1100 pages. The pages go very slow, but so I'm 75% into the book. But speaking about the way the book's going, no spoilers in the slightest, of course. It was slow going for a very long time. It felt like a self-help book, and I was getting bored. But then, I think I'm on day 9 now out of 10, and it's picking up for sure. There were a couple of like, oh, what, really moments? And other than that, I don't think this is my favorite book in the Stormlight Archive series. I don't think that the Stormlight Archive series is my favorite in Brandon Sanderson's work. I think that still goes to either the Mistborn series or Warbreaker. I think I like those better. Also, I'm wasting time right now speaking, but wrapping this little segment up. Yeah, I'm liking it, but I can't wait to read the reviews after I'm done. That's the thing I'm treating myself to. I get to read the reviews after I finished it, so. Okay, let's keep going. Also, yeah, I took a shower and I braided my hair so I can look cutie, so. All right, back to reading. All right, looks like I've got 2 hours and 19 minutes and I have about 3 hours and 49 in the book. So I just had dinner with my family, so couldn't really read, can't read and be social at the same time. So we're just gonna write out the rest of this little challenge and I'll see you back at 10 o'clock. So I got to page 1247. That is not the end. It goes to 1330, I believe, but that's pretty dang good. I almost made it. If I hadn't taken that 5.5 hour nap, maybe I would have won the day, but I'm pretty pleased. So I'm actually going to read the last chunk because why would I not? When it comes to this book in particular that I'm reading, it's really freaking good. But only at the end. Brandon Sanderson does this to me every time. He gets me with the intro, and then he makes me snooze in the middle, and then he like wakes me up for the ending and says, girl, we're going somewhere. And then I gotta pack a bag and everything. So now I gotta read this ending. So that's the end of this portion. I'll do a whole big like wrap up in the end, like tomorrow morning when I'm coherent. But yeah, I'm about to finish this thing. So I don't know, that's like 600-ish pages for this. I don't know. I'll tell you later. Bye.
The next morning.
Howdy. It's the next morning and just checking my stats here. Oh, do you like my hat? I made this hat. It's a little small for my head because I got a big head, but I'm pretty proud. I was wearing this hat. This is nothing to do with the video. I was wearing this hat the other day and one of my coworkers was like, that hat is cold. And I was like, thanks, I made it. So yeah, I'm just doing some calculations. Excuse me, my voice is really sexy right now. 384. Okay. So this is the end of the video. Like I said, I did want to finish Wind and Truth last night, so I did. It took me about an hour longer, so I'm kind of kicking myself because if I had just woken up an hour earlier, I would have finished this and been able to say, I finished this book in 24 hours. But you know, it's not really true because I started at 600 pages in, so I had a leg up, but you know, clickbait. So what happened? I read 2 books. I loved both books. Although I will say with Wind and Truth, there was a moment where I was enjoying it, but I was teetering towards indifference. And then the end was like, and then I was like, well, now I gotta give it 5 stars. So I did. I gave Wind and Truth 5 stars, begrudgingly. The characters, that some of these characters are my babies, okay? So Brandon Sanderson, what you did to one of the characters, I'm still mad. What happened to, like, this is the bridging point between like the first arc and the second arc. So there's, you know, 5 more books that are gonna come. So he had to play with us a little bit. He had to keep us on the edge of our seats, and he did it. So do I think that it could have been like 300 less pages? For sure. For sure, I really do. It didn't need to be this long. It didn't need to give me carpal tunnel. But, and plus, I got a weak wrist as it is. Look at this. My wrist is not supposed to do that. But regardless, I enjoyed it. And, you know, at the end, I was like, am I gonna cry? I didn't cry, but I was thinking about it. I was feeling a little emotional, so I was like, maybe I should cry. Maybe I should cry right now. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I can't wait to look at the reviews. I will say that from what I've seen of the reviews, I understand where some people are coming from in their non-enjoyment of this book, but I think the payoff was there. So I read a full book, The Family Experiment by John Mars, and basically a little over half of a book. Pretty good. And The Family Experiment was 384 pages, plus I know that I read 647 pages of Win and Truth, so for a grand total of 1,031 pages for 24 hours. I mean, minus those 5.5 where I was napping. So, yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you want, and give me props for attempting to stay up. I only stayed up till 1 o'clock. That's really bad. Y'all, I've never pulled an all-nighter unless it was insomnia that I just couldn't help, because being without sleep actually makes me crazy. It makes me think I'm dying. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, so yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go make coffee cake now. Bye.